did you guys benefit from the time off, Geno? And was it recovery or just tweaking things that you wanted to work on?
I don't know, really. I'm sure we got some rest in. Taking a couple of days off was really, really good. From a basketball standpoint, hopefully there's some improvement on some of the things that we needed to address. But we won't know until we play on Sunday. But we spent time on some things that we thought we were struggling with, and hopefully we got them fixed.
How do you feel where you are with 3 games left in the regular season and the tournament coming up? What's the pulse of the team here?
Well, obviously, with one more week to go in the regular season, I think there's an anticipation of, getting to the tournament, getting to the Big East tournament. But we still have 3 games in 1 week that we've got to play, and we'd like to build on where we are right now. So 2 on the road, 1 at home. Object is to go 3-0.
Ashley and KK were saying you guys basically barred them from coming into the gym on Tuesday and Wednesday, though people may have snuck in a little bit of shooting.
I'm sure they did. But what was they can't stay away. They can't stay away. I just think sometimes you have to get out of the gym and you have to get rid of the ball. After a while the ball starts to feel stale. It's not like anything else. You do something every day. Everybody needs to be able to just step away from it for a little bit, and I've always thought that was a good thing. That when you come back, the ball feels really, really good in your hands, and so sometimes you have to. Again, we don't have monitors on them, so we don't know what they were doing. I hope they took advantage of it.
Did you see them come back mentally or physically, better after those 2 days off, or did you see the impact of that on the floor?
When you give your team 2 days off, it could go either way. It could be really, really good, or sometimes it takes time to get back into the flow of things. But I remember when I was at UVA, Coach Allen the men's coach, never gave his team 2 days off. And I asked him one time, why? He said, because they're gonna realize what they're missing and they're not gonna want to come back. And it's a great point. And in today's world of NIL craziness, you don't know what they did those 2 days, right? I mean, it's just anymore. Back then, you knew they were just going to go to class and go to their apartment and sleep, or whatever they do. But now who knows? So, but it's a long season, and I think every team probably is trying to figure it out at this time of the year.
You feel like your freshmen are ready for the postseason? I mean, have they accomplished enough this year, raised their confidence enough that?
The only way you'll know that is when you get into postseason. Some kids. I've coached kids that were not any good until the postseason. And then others, when the postseason comes, they get a little anxious. So they certainly have played enough minutes. They've certainly been through a lot of scenarios, and you would think that that they're good to go. But we went through that 11-game winning streak where we really, really, really played well. Like, there was hardly any bad games during that streak. And since then, it's been a little bit choppy, and I think that's normal. That happens. So this week, I'd like to get us back into a nice rhythm, a nice routine, and nice flow, offensively. I think that's probably the best thing you can do going into the Big East tournament. Any tournament for that matter, is feel like, you've got a good rhythm on offense.
Geno, what did you hear? What did you think of Azie's testimony with the state legislature? It seemed like that's a little bit out of her comfort zone to do something like that.
I didn't get a chance to hear it yet.
Okay.
Clue me in.
Well, I guess she was part of the hearings for the school. That she was speaking to the legislature.
Okay.
I mean, it just seems like a little out of her comfort zone.
Oh yeah.
Or something like that.
Oh yeah. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall there. But it's good that they get to experience that. It's a great life lesson for them. It's a great builder of what's happening after they leave here. And I'm actually scheduled to go. I forget what day, 27th maybe or something like that. Whenever that is. What's the date today?
23rd.
Oh, so it's coming up soon, I guess. So yeah, we're all being asked to help and try to enlighten some of those enlightened people. Try to bring some perspective to what we're trying to do here.
Do you want your players to experience game day being here for the men, or are you guys just kind of bunkered down geting ready for,
Well, we're
heading to
practicing.
Chicago?
We're practicing, and then we're leaving for Chicago, so I don't know how much they're going to get a chance to experience that at all. If it's 10 to 12, that's right during our practice. Which I don't understand how that works. They're here in the morning, and then Fox is doing the game Saturday night. So it's kind of a weird thing, right?
Your guys' last two trips to Chicago kind of came down to the wire. How do you feel like this trip will go? Especially this is Paige's first trip. So.
Probably the same thing. Probably the same thing. We've gone out there and played great, and we've gone out there and played lousy. We've gone out there and won by a lot. We've gone out there and are down 17 with 10 minutes to go in the game when Maya was a freshman. So we've kind of experienced it all out there, and whenever we play DePaul, I'm always convinced that something will happen that I haven't seen. They took 35 threes against us here. We took 14. Luckily, they missed a bunch. But you're always, whenever you're playing teams like that, always in the back of your mind, you're like, what if this is the night when they all go in? Now, obviously, they're not going to go 35 for 35. Well, what if they make 15 of them, 17 of them? Who the hell knows? And so when you play in a team like that, you don't assume anything.
I asked you during the win streak if there was something that you really liked about the team at that point, and you said that they were embracing their identity. You had an identity.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something that you really like about the team right now?
Well, I like that we've been in some games where we've had to figure things out. The Seton Hall game specifically at XL and the Creighton game. Both of those first halves were a real struggle in every way, and we were able to come out in the second half and make some adjustments. And so I think the more of those that you're in, the better you're going to be going into the postseason. So I would like for us to be more consistent in each individual. Like right now, it seems like Aaliyah and Paige are really carrying the load for us. When we were rolling during those 11 games, we had more people involved. More people were contributing offensively, and I'd like to see us get back to that.
Geno, have you seen offenses in basketball over the last 10 years get more complex, and have the players developed a better basketball IQ? Have you changed things to make it a little more?
I don't see the IQ being better. I see players being more individually talented, maybe. I think players now more so than ever spend a lot more time working on their game individually with whoever they work with during the summers or whenever, but that doesn't necessarily give you a high basketball IQ. The only thing that gives you a high basketball IQ is playing a lot with other people. So going down and working on your game and going against, juggling tennis balls and beating cones up and down the court, I don't know that teaches you playing basketball. So the game is way more. Each individual can do certain things maybe that they couldn't do back in the day. But in terms of all 5 players being a unit, I don't think you see as much of that. Maybe that's why you see some teams score 85 and the next game score 45. So who knows?
Were you able to get some rest during the 2 days off?
No, we were out recruiting, so I didn't get anything. I didn't get any breaks. But that's just the nature of the job right now, you know. So we were out Tuesday and Thursday. No, Saturday and Tuesday. I don't know when it was. Tuesday? I don't know. I forget I forget all those dates. But yeah, there's no rest for the coaches. Only the players.
You talked about wanting to see more from Ice and Q, hitting this home stretch. Are there specific things that you're working on with them right now, just in trying to get better before the postseason?
Well, Ice has to be consistently able to contribute. So we've had games where, she's been a big contributor, and it's helped tremendously. And we've had games where she's been a non-factor. And the more times that she can contribute and stay out of foul trouble, the more we can get from that, then obviously that gives us a chance to rotate, our players in and out and give us a rest when we need it. Q's going to compete all the time, so I like that about her. There's just sometimes things that happen on the floor that she's not ready to deal with yet, but she competes and she's a gamer. And depending on the game, I would like to get her more involved. Hopefully these next 3 games will be an opportunity to do that. Because, you really want to go into the tournament with 3 games in 3 days feeling like you have options. That would be ideal.